There's a new function Go 1.26 and it is specifically designed to improve the error inspection. This is why in this video we are going to take a look at this new errors.AsType function and how we can really use it in Go 1.26. Okay, let's just first clarify the original problem with the currently existing errors.As function. Now hopefully we are all aware that this function here exists, and I will explain what this really does later on when we approach the use case of using this as type or the new as type function. But generally the original problem with this errors.As function is that it might panic at runtime and it relies on reflection, and therefore a misuse isn't caught at compile time. So like I said before, the error inspection Go 1.26 has a good and serious upgrade with the introduction of this new errors.As type function. And the new solution basically allows us to get compile time errors because it doesn't really use reflection internally, and a big plus is also that it tends to allocate less and execute faster, which is pretty nice as well. Alright, let's just have a quick use case without the asType function, and what we are going to do first is we are going to declare a new function above our main function, and we will call it load config. Now this load config function takes in a path parameter right here, and it can return an error. And all this function does, it just tries to read a JSON config file from the given path and tries to parse it. And then if anything goes wrong, it just returns a possible error, and it returns nil when it succeeded loading the config. So what we can do is we can just say os and then .read file, and obviously this will return the data and a possible error. And read file takes in a path argument, so we are just going to specify the path right here. Now we're going to quickly import the OS module right here, and then we check if the error is not equal to nil. Obviously we just want to return the error. Now right here it reads the entire file into memory as a byte slice, and it just returns the file contents and a possible error value. And if anything goes wrong while reading a file, for example the file does not really exist, we just return the error. Alright, and then after that we can just declare a simple map, which we will call CFG, which stands for config obviously, and this will be of type map, and we use the string as a key right here, and as the value we will just define any. Now this is just a flexible way to represent an unknown JSON structure. Then we are going to leverage the JSON or unmarshal function by just basically using this here, this function unmarshal, and then we are going to pass in the data and then a reference to the CFG map. And if the error is not equal to nil, obviously we want to return it. So if anything goes wrong, so the JSON is malformed for instance, we just return the parse error. And then in the end we are returning a nil. So regarding the unmarshal function right here, it just tries to parse the raw bytes, so the data in the end, and then fill our CFG map. And we use a reference to CFG right here such that unmarshal can fill the data into the CFG map. Alright, that was cool. Let's just go into the main function and then we can basically load the config. Let's just say that we have a config which is in our current project and is called config.json. And then here comes the magic before Go 1.26. Now what we would like to do is we would like to handle different errors based on the type or based on the returned error type. And we can do this by leveraging the errors.As function. Now there are several workarounds as well. So for instance, you can have also a custom error type as well, instead of just returning the plain error while unmarshalling or while reading the file. But we are going to define now a simple var group, and in here we are going to define two error types. Now the first one is just a path error, which is of type pointer fs.path error, and this just wraps the OS level file or path errors. And then we also have a possible syntax error, which is of type pointer JSON and then syntax error, which just wraps the JSON parsing errors. And right here we just declare two typed error variables as pointers in a var group, and before Go 1.26 you could use errors.As, which will fill these in if the error matches that type. Now what I really mean by that is we could just say if errors.As and then error and then path error, for instance. And then we could say fmt.printf file not found, and then we will leverage %s right here and \n. And then we can use path error.path, for instance. Right here, the TLDR of this errors.As function is that it just checks if the error or any error it wraps just matches the type of, for example, this pointer path error. And if it does, it just populates path error with the actual error value, giving us access to its rich fields like path, for instance. Now, a valid alternative would be to use errors.Is, but this does only work for sentinel errors like fs.error.Exist. So really simple fixed values you compare by identity. And it just checks for value equality or a custom is method, not the error type, so you cannot really extract rich fields like a file path or byte offset, for instance. And then we can also handle the syntax error, so else if errors.As, and then we will leverage the syntax error right here. We can just say fmd.printf and then JSON at byte offset %d and then \n, and then we will leverage the offset right here. And then finally we can just have a catch all. So we say else if error is not equal to nil, we will just say fmt.printf unexpected error, and then we will use %v and \n, and we will use error right here. Now this basically means if it's some other error we didn't really anticipate, we will just print it right here, and this %v is just a default format verb for errors. Okay, let's just test this program by just running go run main.go, and then we will see file not found config.json. So let's just create this file, and then for now we will just use +++. So the error file not found should go away, but now we will actually see the .json at byte offset 1. And now let's just have a valid JSON config right here, and if we run it again, we will actually see no output at all because it was loaded successfully. Okay, and right now this errors.AsType function exists in Go 1.26, and we can leverage this new function with this use case here. And what is really cool is that we can completely remove this var group now because this is just unnecessary. And then we can say errors dot and then as type, and then we can actually see that this new function is a generic function, and this type parameter just tells it exactly which error type to look for. And then this as function just basically returns, as we can see right here, the typed error value and a possible boolean. Now the boolean just indicates whether it is this error or not. Quite simple. So we can just say path error and then okay, and then we say errors.AsType. Now, as the generic type parameter, we just specify the pointer to fs.path error, and then we specify the error as the argument right here. And then we check if it is okay, and if it was okay, we can just leverage path error.path as before, and this is actually typed as well, which is really nice. And this is really overall just cleaner than errors.As, which required pre-declaring a typed nil pointer variable. So now you might ask yourself what you would actually use, errors.Is or errors.AsType or errors.As. Now you can use errors.Is whenever you just need a yes/no answer for errors, and you would use errors.AsType when you need to read data of the error, like the path or byte offset. Now for now, I think it's quite clear that the Go docs actually suggest to prefer this AsType function. But still, the errors.As function has its use case because it still sets its target argument rather than returning the matching error, and doesn't really require its target argument to implement the error interface. But generally now you would prefer the AsType function instead of the errors.As function. Now let's just refactor this if condition right here as well to AsType, and then pointer JSON.syntax error, and then we just define the error right here. Now we use syntax error right here as well, and then okay. And then if it was okay, we can basically just print the .json at byte offset line right here. Okay, quite cool. Now you might wonder, why are we actually using a pointer to the error type? Now we need the pointer type, so for instance pointer fs path error or pointer JSON.syntax error here, because a value type does not implement the error interface, because the error method is defined with a pointer receiver. And this is why we are using a pointer to the error type instead of just using the error type. Now I've deleted the config.json file quickly, and let's just run go run main.go again, and what we'll see is the same error, so file not found, config.json. And then we can create this file again with malform.json right here, and then we will run go run main.go again, and we will see batch.js at byte offset 1, really nice. And then we will just have some valid JSON right here, and we will say go run main.go, and what we'll see is no output, which just means that it was loaded successfully. And that's everything there's to it. It's a pretty helpful but small change. Now, if you are curious about the recent changes to the context.course function Go 1.26, feel free to check out this video right here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, have a lovely day, and bye bye.